So here we have, for the first one, 7 less than twice a number is 20 more than 5 times the number. Find the number. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to let x equal the number. And now we're going to translate this. We're going to translate these words into symbols. So it says 7 less than twice a number. So I'm starting off there. 7 less than twice a number. Well, there was, think back to Algebra 1. Less than, more than, those were words that were not exactly translated. Where you see less than, you might think, oh, well, that's a minus sign. And you're right, it is a minus sign. But they're saying that 7 is less than twice the number. So it's not going to be 7 minus whatever this is. It's going to be less than twice the number. So it's this quantity and then subtract from it 7. When I used to teach Algebra 1, I used to call less than and more than flip-flop words. So you flip it over that minus sign. So here we're going to have 7 less than twice a number. So this is going to be, put it over here, minus 7. And then what's going to come before that minus 7? 7 less than twice a number. Sienna? 2x. 2x, exactly. So remember, our number is x. So twice that number is going to be 2x. So here we're going to have 2x minus 7. And then it has the word is. What symbol goes with is? Kai? Equals. So is 20 more than 5 times the number. Do we agree that more than is addition? 20 more than. In addition, does the order matter? No. In subtraction, it definitely matters. 7 minus 2x versus 2x minus 7 is different. But 20 plus 5x or 5x plus 20, it doesn't really matter. Addition's commutative. So we're going to have 20 more than 5 times the number. So I'm just going to write it the way it translates exactly, which is 5x plus 20. They want us to find the number. So now we have our equation. All we have to do is now solve this equation. Here's our equal sign. I'm going to subtract 2x on both sides. And we're going to have negative 7 is equal to 3x plus 20. I'm now going to subtract that 20 on both sides. I will bring it up here. We're going to have negative 27 is equal to 3x. So x is equal to negative 9. All right, number 2. Anybody still copying number 1? Okay, number 2. The second of 3 numbers is 3 times the first number. The third number is 2 more than the second number. 7 less than twice the second number is the same as 12 more than the third. What are the 3 numbers? Okay, so here we're not just comparing one number's quantity to another number's, right? We are comparing 3 different numbers. So whenever we're comparing more than just, something to something else, I like to make a chart. Whenever we're comparing more than just one thing to another thing, I like to make a chart. And I'm going to call it the first number, second number, third number. Do you guys all know that hashtag sign means number? Once upon a time, it meant number. Before it was ever a hashtag. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to come up with variable expressions to represent these words. The second of 3 numbers is 3 times the first number. Okay, so I'm starting here. The second number is 3 times the first number. Do we all agree that the second number is bigger than the first number? Since the second number is bigger than the first number, I'm going to go to the first number and call it x. First number is x. So whatever is smaller, I'm going to call x. And then the second number is 3 times that. So how am I going to represent the second number? R of, right? Yeah. Okay. 3x. The third number is 2 more than the second number. So the third number is not going to be x plus 2. It's 2 more than the second number. Well, the second number is 3x. How am I going to represent 2 more than 3x? Tori. 3x plus 2. You got it. 3x plus 2. So now I've filled in my chart. I have an expression to represent each number. Now we need an equation. All right, the equation's coming. 7 less than twice the second number. So now we're going to use this chart to help us with the equation. 7 less than twice the second number. Do we agree this is the second number, 3x? So now they're saying 7 less than, so that's going to be minus 7, twice, 7 less than twice the second number. So now in front of that, I'm going to do 2 times 3x. That's 7 less than twice the second number. Is, what sign am I putting for is? What symbol? Tejas. Equals. So 7 less than twice the second number is the same as 12 more than the third. How do you think we're going to represent 12 more than the third? It's not Lindsay, is it? Am I even close? No. Okay, what is it?
Alexandra.
Oh yeah, I was not even close. Okay, Alexandra.
3x plus 14.
You got it. So this is going to be 3x plus 2 is the third number, but it's saying 12 more than that. So then we're adding the other 12. What are the 3 numbers? So now we have our equation. We can solve this equation. We're going to have 6x minus 7 equals 3x plus 14. I'm going to subtract that 3x on both sides. And we're going to have 3x minus 7 equals 14. We're going to add that 7 to both sides. We're going to have 3x is equal to 21. X is equal to 7. So now I'm going to plug into my chart to find the 3 numbers. Which number is 7, the first, the second, or the third? Tejas. The first is 7. The second is 3 times 7, which is 21. And the third is 2 more than the second, which is 23. Okay, let's talk about consecutive integers. Consecutive integers. The word consecutive, what does it mean? If I say the next consecutive day after Friday, what's the consecutive day after Friday? Zoya, right? Saturday. What's the consecutive number after 13? James?
14.
14. So consecutive means to follow, right? Consecutive means to follow. So now we're talking about consecutive integers. Are decimals integers? What are integers? Okay.
Numbers, but like
Whole numbers only?
and negative.
Good. They're whole numbers and negative numbers, no decimals, no fractions. Those are integers. So now when we're talking about consecutive integers, let's just talk about, in general, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on, right? To get from 1 to 2, how much are we adding? 1. But to get from 1 to 3, how many am I adding? 2. To get from 1 to 4, how many am I adding? 3. So whenever we're dealing with consecutive integers, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to label the first integer x. And then after the first integer, we are x plus 1. And then what do you think the third integer will be after x? I want to call you Sarah's sister, Sanya. Okay. X plus 2. Good. And so on, right? Wouldn't the next one be x plus 3? So those are just regular consecutive integers. But then we have other options too. We have consecutive integers, but then we can have consecutive even integers. All right, let's talk about consecutive even integers. Do we agree it's 2, 4, 6, 8, so on? Okay, to get from 2 to 4, how many are we adding? Good, 2. To get from 2 to 6, how many are we adding? 4. To get from 2 to 8, how many are we adding? 6. So if my first even integer is x, my second consecutive even integer is going to be x plus 2. My third consecutive even integer is going to be x plus 4, and so on. Do we get it? All right, now here's the thing. Here's the one everybody always messes up. Let's talk about consecutive odd. All right, consecutive odd integers. 1, 3, 5, 7, and so on. So now a lot of kids think that for odd, we're going to go x, x plus 1, x plus 3, x plus 5. No, that's not what we're going to do. Look, to get from 1 to 3, how many am I adding? 2. To get from 1 to 5, how many am I adding? 4. To get from 1 to 7, how many am I adding? 6. So the formula for consecutive odd integers is x, x plus 2, x plus 4, and so on. The same as even. The formula for consecutive even and the formula for consecutive odd are the same. Okay, I'm going to sidetrack for a minute. It's not on the paper, but I'm going to write this down. Find 3 consecutive integers whose sum is 21. Find 3 consecutive integers whose sum is 21. Did I specifically say even or odd? No. If I didn't specifically say even and odd, they're just regular consecutive integers. I'll let you write this down since it's not written down. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I love charts. So I'm going to say first, second, third. So we're talking about just consecutive integers. So my first is x. What's my second if it's just normal consecutive numbers? Tejas. X plus 1, and my third will be x plus 2. Now, what are they saying? They're saying the sum of these 3 numbers is 21. So what do I have to do with x, x plus 1, x plus 2? Add them, exactly. X plus 1 plus x plus 2 equals 21. Combine our like terms. We are 3x plus 3 equals 21. 3x equals 18. So x is equal to 6. So my first is 6, which means my second is 7, and my third is 8. Those are our 3 consecutive integers. Okay, let's step it up now. If I'm going too fast, just tell me to slow down. All right, this one. The sum of three consecutive odd integers is 69 more than twice the third integer. What are the three odd integers? So right away, I see the sum of three consecutive odd integers. The minute I see consecutive integers, I'm making a chart immediately. The minute I see consecutive integers, I make a chart. So we have our first odd, second odd, third odd. And no matter what, when I'm dealing with consecutive integers, my first is always x. No matter if it's just regular consecutive, even consecutive, or odd consecutive, my first is always x. Now, what was the format for odd? It was x and then x plus 2 and then x plus 4. Okay, so now what we're going to do, we have our chart. Now I'm going to use this chart to help us make an equation based on the words. They're saying the sum of the three consecutive odd integers. What do they want us to do with the three integers? Tejas. Not Tejas. Not Adav. Arav.
Add them up.
Add them up. Good. So we're going to say x plus 2 plus x plus 4. And then it says is. What does is mean? Sienna? Equals. 69 more than twice the third integer. Do we all agree the third integer is x plus 4? So then we're 69 more than that. How am I representing 69 more than that? James.
X plus 4 plus 69.
You got it. X plus 4 plus 69. What are the three integers? We have our equation. Now we just solve. So we come, yes.
That's twice more than that.
Oh, did it say twice it? What are, oh, sorry, guys. Twice, 69 more than twice the third. So we are plus 69, but then how am I going to represent twice the third? Max? Okay.
2 times x plus 4.
Good. 2 and then in parentheses x plus 4. Are the parentheses important here? Yeah, because that 2 has to get distributed to the x and the 4. If the parentheses weren't there, it wouldn't go to the 4. All right, now we combine our like terms. So we are x plus x gives us 3x. 2 plus 4 gives us 6. On the other side, I am distributing. So we are 2x plus 8 plus 69. So now we are 3x plus 6 equals 2x, and then we have 8 plus 69 is going to be 77. We're going to subtract that 2x on both sides. So we're going to have x plus 6 equals 77. I'm going to now subtract the 6, and we will have x is equal to 71. Which one is 71? Danny?
The first odd.
Good. The first odd is 71. What's the second odd? 73. What's the third odd? 75. What happens if you didn't get odd numbers? Okay. You did something wrong, exactly. If you didn't get odd numbers, you did something wrong. All right, moving along. Perimeter problems. The length of a rectangle is 4 meters more than twice the width. The perimeter is 26 meters. Find the length and the width, and then find the area of the rectangle in square meters. Okay, so what I'm going to do for these shape problems is I'm actually going to draw the shape. So they're telling us the length of a rectangle is 4 meters more than twice the width. Now, to start, does it matter which one is the length and which one's the width? No, it doesn't matter. You can call this the length and this the width, or this the length and this the width. It really doesn't matter for you. So don't get caught up in that. So it says the length of a rectangle is 4 meters more than twice the width. Which one, the length or the width, is a smaller or shorter length? Which one is smaller? Michael? The width, because it's saying the rectangle is 4 more than twice the width. So clearly the width is smaller. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put an X. Now let's label the length. So now it's saying the length is 4 more than twice X. How am I going to represent 4 more than twice X? Philip?
4 plus 2x.
Good, or 2x plus 4. Now think back to geometry. What do we know about opposite sides of a rectangle? Bridget?
They're the same length.
Good. Opposite sides of a rectangle are congruent. They're the same length. So if the top is 2x plus 4, the bottom is 2x plus 4. If the left is x, the right is also x. Why is this important to know? Because they're telling us the perimeter is 26. Well, isn't the perimeter all the 4 sides added together? What happens if I just added 2 sides? Would that be enough? No, you need all 4. So now let's go ahead and add these. X plus 2x plus 4 plus 2x plus 4 is equal to 26. We're combining our like terms. 2, 4, 6x plus 8 equals 26. Subtract that 8. We get 6x is equal to, is that 16? 18. Yes, 18, sorry. And then divide by 6. We're going to get x is equal to 3. So find the length and the width. All right, so we know the width I labeled as x is 3, so what's the length going to be? James? 10. So it says find the length and the width. We got 3, we got 10. But then it asks for something else. Find the area of the rectangle. How do you find the area of a rectangle? Tejas?
Length times width.
Length times width. You got it. So the area of the rectangle is 3 times 10, which is 30 units squared. Can I go on to the next problem? Right. One side of a triangle is 3 times as long as the second side. The third side is 2 centimeters longer than the first side. Find the length of each side of the triangle if the perimeter is 72. First thing I'm going to do is draw a triangle. So they say one side of a triangle. I'm going to call this the first side. So the first side of a triangle is 3 times as long as the second side. So which one is shorter, the first side or the second side? First side of a triangle is 3 times as long as the second side. So which one's shorter? Second side. Does it matter which one's the second side? No. So I'm just going to put an X here. Now, how am I going to represent the first side? 3 times as long as the second side. All right.
Just 3x.
3x, you got it. Then it says the third side is 2 centimeters longer than the first side. So how am I going to represent that? The third side is 2 centimeters longer than the first side. James.
X plus 2? Oh, wait, no, 3x plus 2.
Good, 3x plus 2, you got it. Because remember, we said in the beginning the first side is 3 times the second side, so this was the first side. Find the length of each side of the triangle if the perimeter is 72. Can somebody come up with an equation to solve for x? Alexandra. You got it. So we're going to have 7x plus 2 equals 72. 7x equals 70. X is equal to 10. So we have 10. Then we're going to have 30. And then 32. All right, the last problem we're going to do is age problems. Carol is 6 times as old as her nephew Howard. Betty is 22 years younger than her Aunt Carol. In 4 years, Carol's age will be twice the sum of Howard and Betty's ages. How old is each person now? We have a lot going on, but the very first thing I want you to realize is how many ages are we comparing? 3, right? So what do you think I'm going to recommend we make? A chart. I'm going to recommend we make a chart. So we have C for Aunt Carol. We have H for her nephew Howard, and we have B for her niece Betty. And now let's go ahead and translate. Carol is 6 times as old as her nephew Howard. Who do you think I'm going to call X? Carol or Howard? Michael? Howard. He's younger. He is X. Carol is 6 times as old as him. So how old is Carol going to be? Sonia? 6X. All right, now let's keep going. Betty is 22 years younger than her Aunt Carol. How do you think I'm going to represent Betty's age? Danny? You got it. 6x minus 22. Do we all agree on this chart so far? We're good. All right, so now I'm going to throw a little curveball at you. Now it's saying in 4 years, so not present time, in 4 years, Carol's age will be twice the sum of Howard and Betty's ages. So now this is present time chart. Can't use present time chart to make my equation because the equation is based on in 4 years. Well, if I'm 10 years old, in 4 years, how old am I going to be? 14. What did you do? You took my age now and added 4 to it. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this chart and add to each person 4. So now let's make it in 4 years chart. In 4 years. So in 4 years, it will be C plus 4, H plus 4, B plus 4. Do we agree? Carol's age plus 4 years, Henry's age plus 4 years, Howard's age plus 4 years, and Betty's age plus 4 years. So we're going to have, for Carol, 6x, and then what do I have to add to that 6x? Plus 4. For Howard, I'm going to add x. I have x, and then what am I going to add to Howard? Plus 4. And in Betty, it's 6x minus 22, but then I have to add 4. What happens when I have a negative 22 plus a positive 4? What does that become? Good, negative 18. So Betty's age is 6x minus 18 in 4 years. The hardest part is going from here to here. Are we okay with how I transitioned, why this chart, the now ages was necessary, but also in the 4 years ages was also necessary? Okay, so now it's about making an equation. So it says in 4 years. So since it's saying in 4 years, I have to use the 4 years chart. Carol's age will be twice the sum of Howard and Betty's ages. All right, so Carol's age, well, isn't Carol's age x plus 4? right, she's going to be twice the sum of Howard and Betty's ages. So what does that mean? I'm going to take Howard and Betty's ages, add them together, and multiply by 2. You got it. All right, so we have 6x plus 4 is equal to 2 times, I'm going to simplify what's inside my parentheses, 7x minus 14. 6x plus 4 will equal 14x minus 28. I'll subtract the 6x on both sides. So we will have 4 is equal to 8x minus 28. I'm going to add the 28 to both sides. We're going to have 32 is equal to 8x. So x is equal to 4. And now let's go back. Let's see what they were asking. How old is each person now? Not in 4 years. How old is each person now? So who's 4? Kai, who's 4?
Wait, now?
Yeah, who's 4 now?
The nephew, Harold.
Howard. Yes, Howard is 4. He's so young. Okay, what about Carol? How old is Carol going to be?
Carol's gonna be
24. Didn't you get a feeling she was going to be much older than 24? Yeah. All right, what about Betty? Layla?
2.
2. They're all young. All right, we are done. We are done, and we have no homework.